Hey, what's up guys? I hope everybody's having an awesome day. In this video we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to be breaking down a movie. We're sort of going to be taking a behind the scenes look at this channel, specifically talking more about this new set that you see behind me. A few months back I decided to leave the green screen behind for the most part to opt for a more practical set. I built it on a budget and I'm really happy with the overall finished result. I wanted to up the production value for you guys, the viewer, to provide a more enjoyable watching experience, and I hope you guys are happy with the finished look. So let's go back in time and see how this thing was put together. When I sat down and decided how to design this set, I had two key things in mind. I definitely wanted some interchangeability with removable pieces that could be plugged in and out to give it a continually fresh look, to keep it kind of from getting stale over all the months of shooting videos, and I definitely wanted some functionality. I wanted something that could be easily modified depending on the types of videos that I wanted to shoot or whether or not I had potential guests on. For the walls of the set, I decided on using 3 panels that would be connected with hinges, having the center panel securely mounted to the wall. That way the outer panels could be open completely flat for a larger set with guests, or more closed in for shooting the regular content that I do alone. And I decided to go with a larger panel in the middle at 5 feet, with 2 side panels being 5 feet wide, with all of them being about 7 feet high. This would give me roughly about 13 feet worth of wall space to work with when the set's completely opened up, as well as at the same time being able to get a nice depth for shooting alone when the panels were closed in. So I decided to go with this design. I felt confident in being able to build it. Went to the Home Depot, I got my lumber. I decided to go with 1x3x8s instead of the traditional 2x4s, primarily, well, because they're cheaper, and overall it just kept the entire set much lighter. With the panels completed, it was time to take them into the garage to mount them up. The key to this was that center panel and finding some studs to securely mount it to, as it does support the bulk of the overall weight of the set. So with that mounted and leveled, I added the side panels and made sure that everything was level across all 3 pieces. Most garage floors slope out to the edge of the property to prevent flooding, so I definitely wanted to take that into account. The last thing I wanted to have was a nice detailed set for shooting videos that was slanted. So with everything mounted and leveled and in place, it was time to put up the paneling. So for these, I decided to go with some thin MDF sheets that had a faux brick look on one side to add some texture to the set. Keeping everything even was crucial to this part. I hung up the center panel first, and then I lined up the edges and all the fake mortar lines to do my best in giving the brick a seamless look from one side of the set to the other. Once all the panels were up in place, I wanted to give the set sort of an abandoned building kind of look. I wanted to make it look run down. I wanted it to look aged, so I just went to the store, got a big box of general spackling compound and a couple putty knives, and came back and began to work it into the grooves in various directions, scraping away more in various areas and then letting it dry to see what it would look like. From there, I took some wet sponges and some rags and started wiping away the spackle in certain areas to reveal more of the brick finish. I thought it gave it a more naturally aged feel, plus I thought the color of the brick coming through the walls kept them from looking washed out, and I also wanted it to look like it had once been all plastered over and that it had all fallen off over time. So I simply took the extra spackle that I had, I shellacked it up on the wall in some random shapes and spread it out in certain areas to make it look as natural as possible. Then I just took a wet paintbrush and pulled back from the edges over the top of the spackle to smooth it out, and then I kind of carved it up a little bit, let it dry, hit it with a sanding block, and called it a day. The last part of the build was the shelving for all of my junk. For those, I just bought some cheap closet shelf units that you can get almost anywhere. I wanted to split the material right down the middle to make 2 units out of each one, and to do that I just took some scrap wood and some clamps and made myself some guides so that I wouldn't have to measure each one, and I made all of my cuts. From there, I drilled some holes to space out the shelves how I wanted them to, and then I just put everything together. I hit it with some sandpaper, finished it off with a little bit of leftover kitchen paint that I had lying around, and considered the build complete. The last part, of course, was the fun part, that being putting out all the nerd crap that I've amassed over the years, as well as my small collection of physical media. This really did a great job of finishing off the look, and I considered it complete and ready to shoot videos. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this inside look at how the set was put together, and hopefully it was able to give you some possible ideas if you shoot videos and you want to build a set for yourself. This change from the green screen was simply to provide more visual appeal to the viewers and to create a set with more depth to just make it that much more nice and cozy when we're all talking about movies together. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, share it with your friends, leave a comment. I love to hear from you guys. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. channel, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted when all the new videos pop up. All my social media links are going to be down in the description below. You can also visit the Silver Screen Analysis for a wide range of movie-related content, and here's some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them.